Today I'm going to unbox and install the new PELSEE P1 Duo Dashcam. This has got a 4K camera looking out the front window and a 1080p camera mounted in the back window, so you get both front and rear views of your car. We're going to install it temporarily, for now anyway, and give it a run in both daytime and nighttime driving so we can see the picture quality. And I'm going to present this in 4K, so let's check it out. This is the PELSEE P1 Duo Smart Wi-Fi Dash Camera. We're going to review this one today and take a look at it, unbox it, install it, and see what it does. Let's open this thing up and see what's inside the box. And then I'm going to take it and put it in the car, and we'll take it out for a drive and see what the picture quality looks like. At least I hope the camera's in this package. And there it is. It's fairly small. And there it is. Oh yes, there's a screen on here and a button, and you stick it to the window. It's got a window mount. Takes an SD card. What is in the accessory package? Let's take a look at what accessories we get. We get a screwdriver, 64 gig micro SD card. We get a spudger and some clips and a cable with a rear camera that also attaches to your window by means of double-sided tape. So once it's stuck, it's pretty much stuck for your rear camera. It also comes with the power cord, which would be just a standard USB-C cord. This is interesting. This is a different type of cable. This one here is a split cable for the rear camera, and everything connects by the single USB-C. So I'll have to run the cable in for the camera, and it looks like the arrow points up, so it means, I guess it goes up this way, and you peel off the double-sided tape and stick it on the back window, and this points out the back window. Obviously it's not a waterproof camera, so it can't go outside. It has to be inside the car, which is fine. And this just plugs into power on the top there. So the power cord just plugs in to the top of the camera. I guess it doesn't matter what way it goes in because it's USB-C, so it can plug in either way. Power cord goes in, you run the second camera up to this connector, and then plug that into your 12 volt or 24 volt. I think it'll take probably both. It also has a second USB port so that you don't lose charging your phone ability or anything else that requires USB. That sticks up on your window. This goes to the second camera, and there's one button here to start and stop it, and probably to save files and stuff. We should really read the manual and see how this one works. It's a little different than some of the other cameras. So let's get the manual out. It does come off of the base. You slide it like that. Okay, so that's how that attaches. You attach the base to the window, and then the camera just sits up against there, and you slide it in place. So that makes it easy to remove. Undo the one plug and take the camera out if you want to take the camera out of your car. That's how that works. I was thinking maybe it was magnetic. That's why I was trying to pull on here, but it's not. It's a slide. So that solves that problem of mounting. Although again, I'm going to just temporarily mount this in my car with some zip ties to start, because I don't have a place to stick it in my car right now. I've already got a camera in the vehicle which will be staying there until it dies, and then this one might go in to replace it. Or I might like it so much that I take out the camera that I've got and install this one. We'll see. That's what the whole point of the evaluation is. Let's look at the specs for the unit. And the function power button, it says press this to check the live view from the rear camera if you've installed it. Press it twice to see the time and date. Press the button 3 times to turn on the Wi-Fi, and the 4th time to go back to recording mode. After you install a memory card in the dash cam, press this button once to format the card. Well, that'll be pretty simple to do that. Here's the important stuff. It supports up to 256 gigabyte memory card. It records 4K from the front camera and 1080p from the rear camera, and it's in a transport stream with TS format, photo format's JPEG, and the operating or storage temperature minus 22 Fahrenheit to 185, which is minus 30 Celsius to 85 Celsius, and working temperature minus 14 to 140 Fahrenheit, or minus 10 to plus 60 Celsius. So I've got a 128 gig SD card. It goes in with the contacts facing towards the back. So this is the front of the camera here. So it goes in like that with the label facing the window. Just snaps in like that. I'm going to hook this up to power so I can check it out here before I put it in the car, and then we'll put it in the car and do some driving. Remove the protective covers from the lenses and power up the camera, and it should start to work automatically, and it shouldn't matter what way I plug this in, so I'll just plug it in like that, and the camera powers up. Oh, that's a familiar sound. Tap it. It said something about formatting the card. It was talking to me. I wasn't ready for that. Let's see what it says again. I'll plug it in this way, so, just so we can see. Please press the power button for you to be able to format the card. Formatting successful. Start recording. Okay, so there you go. Formatted the card. It's not very loud, the voice, but hey, it talks to you. So that's interesting. It does not show you the video that it's recording. It just says the date and time on here. I thought it would show the video. What if I press the button here? Oh, there we go. Just as a cycle through. So the front camera is displaying on the monitor, and if I tap the button, it should display the rear camera, which it does. What I'm curious is it a mirror image, or is it the right way around? Looks like it's the right way around. Yeah, so it's not a mirror image because it's not. This is not designed as like a rear view mirror camera. So it will make recordings out the back window that will actually show you the correct orientation of what's behind you if you were to turn your head around and look out the back window, as opposed to some of them which do a mirror image. Now there might be a way to set that up in the app. A lot of settings you could do through the app that you wouldn't do from the button itself on the camera. If I tap the button a third time, it just displays the time, and then it tells me the password for the Wi-Fi, and then back to the front view. And that's the operation of the camera itself. And then press and hold. I think it's press and hold to stop recording there. That shut the camera off. There you go. So now it's off. Camera will start up automatically when you power it up. So if I disconnect the power and reconnect it here to simulate shutting off the car, it should start up automatically. Start recording. And it starts recording. So I already have the app installed. I had it installed, I guess, from a prior installation. So I'm going to connect it because you need to use the app to change settings on here. Wi-Fi mode, and I probably have to connect it first. Duh. P1 Duo, and the password is 12345678 because that's the default, and it finds the camera, and as soon as it finds the camera, it should, there we go, now it will display the picture, a live view from the camera. Now in here, if I go into the settings, camera settings, you can turn the sound recording on and off, and we can also change the volume for voice control and for the speaker volume. Here we go. Anti-flicker, set it for 60 Hertz. Turn the timestamp on or off. Wide dynamic range. Image flip, that would be for flipping the image over on the recording. Collision sense, automatic screen time is off. So you can have it turn off after 10 seconds and 30 seconds or 1 minute. I'll leave it off so the screen stays on. And that's pretty much it. So you can set your recording here. Video resolution, you can set it to 4K, 2.5K, or 1080p. We're going to put it back to 4K because I want the best quality. Loop recording, duration. 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes. We'll pick 3 minutes. Well, that's recording starting and stopping the recording on here.
Start recording.
And that takes a photo on the camera. Show me the full screen of the front camera. That's the cable in the way, by the way. Switch to the rear camera. That might be the rear camera. Yeah, that's the rear camera there. So tap that button to switch the view on the phone. So if I go to camera file,
Stop recording.
the recording stopped, and here's the files that are recorded on the camera. So I can download the files directly from the camera without having to pull the memory card, although I probably would never do that. I would just pull the memory card and take the memory card inside. You've got loops, snapshots, and locked. So if the camera detects that it was in an accident or strong acceleration or deceleration, it'll lock the file. And then the loop recording. Okay, that's the app. Let's go mount this inside the car, and we'll do some recording driving around, and we'll take a look at the pictures in 4K. I've mounted it to my universal mount for my little Nikon camera that is mounted up in the window. That's what I usually use when I'm testing out cameras, so that I can put them in place and leave them there as long as necessary, and then remove them when I'm done without leaving any marks on the window or damaging the camera in any way. I can still use this, install it in another camera, in another car, for example. It's completely ready to go now and doesn't damage and put any damage to the actual camera itself, so that when it does get permanently installed, whether it's in my car or one of my other vehicles that I've got, at least the camera is not going to be in any way damaged by doing this test. So we'll mount this, we'll stick the camera up in the back window. Okay, so for the beginning of my little recording here, I'm going to have the sound turned on just so I can hear how the sound is. Normally I don't have the sound turned on dash cams, but I'm going to have it on for this time just so we can evaluate the sound. I've got the camera temporarily set up in my car, and how long this stays in, I guess, will be determined by how it performs. If this camera turns out that it performs really, really well, then I will probably be mounting it permanently. But right now I've just got cables draped everywhere, as is usual for my temporary installations. Don't put much effort into installing something that's only going to be in here for a couple days. I'll have it in during the day today, and I will also I'll do some driving at night. I'm going to wash my windows a bit here, just to see if I can get the windows a little bit cleaner, even though I did go over them. So we're going to take a little drive, and I'll do the same once it gets dark, so that we can do an evaluation, bright sun and dark. The camera itself is actually kind of nice looking. It's not too obtrusive. It does display a picture, which I like. I like the cameras that will display a picture when they're recording, because then I know I can glance at it and know that it actually is recording, which is nice. My other camera, my main camera, which I won't say the brand, but it blanks the screen and there's no way to turn it on permanently. Also, it sits flush against the window, which is nice. This one here can be put up high in the window, and if I were to mount it permanently, that's where it would be. It'd be up real high in the window, so it'd be unobtrusive. Same with the back camera. It's just temporarily mounted right now, held in place with the zip tie, so it could be bouncing all over the place as far as I know. But again, stuck to the window, it's up nice and high in the window, so it's not going to obscure your view out the back window. The files recorded are standard transport stream MP4. They're not MP4, they're .ts, but they're standard H.264 MPEG-4 type files. And I know that because I can import them directly into my older version of Adobe Premiere in 4K. And if it was H.265, I would have had to convert them over to H.264, like I've had to do with some other models of cameras in the past. This one here, I can import them directly, so we shouldn't have any conversion quality loss from converting from one compressed format to another. We're coming up on a file break here. It's going to occur right now, and you don't even see any frames dropped during that transition from one file to the next, which is pretty good. So this was recorded obviously on a bright, clear day, and yes, there is a color difference between the front and the rear camera. As you can see, the color is much more saturated on the front camera, and that's because I had this one turned into high dynamic range. I don't know that the back camera has the same capabilities as the front. It certainly is not as vivid. The blue sky is not as vivid as it is on the front camera, and I get a sneaking suspicion that's the reason why, is that the high dynamic range Overall, I'm pretty impressed with how this camera is performing in both bright daylight and nighttime conditions. This is really good and clear. You can read all the signs. I'm impressed. Link for this one will be in the description, and I think this may very well become my main dash cam. I'm really close to replacing the one that I'm using now, which I've had in the car for about 4 years. You know, technology gets better, right? I think this one may be a winner. Everything's looking positive so far, but the files are easy to handle, they're easy to import, and everything is looking on the up and up with this one. So I think this one's going to be a winner in my books. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.